get your latest on the situation. It seems to be coming under control. The Congress Vice President Rahul Gandhi has just spoken at a Chamber of Commerce annual awards event.
Without understanding this basic concept, the Prime Minister used his vast powers to unleash terror on the citizens of India. To make millions of Indian citizens stand in queues for over 2 months, desperately running from one ATM to another, many of them dying in the process, millions losing their jobs and their livelihood. To do all that, you surely need someone with a very big chest, but a very small heart. Demonetization crippled SMEs and has destroyed the unorganized sector, forcing workers to leave urban employment and go back to their villages, searching for Manrega work. And now GST, or Gabbar Singh tax, or Gabbar Singh tax, a tax so badly conceptualized and implemented that is only adding to the distrust. Their GST is wrecked with holes, moth-eaten, flawed in its structure, punitive in its design, and it is forcing businesses to incur massive transaction costs that are destroying them. It is creating a 21st century computerized and connected license Raj. GST, as this government has formulated it, has already unleashed a tsunami of tax terrorism, and it is only going to get worse. Small, micro and medium businesses are screaming in pain. They are drowning. And Mr. Arun Jaitley, with his impeccable logic, has the nerve to go on TV every other day and tell people that things are just fine. The government simply refuses to listen. Everybody is shouting. Every other day you see Mr. Jaitley, everything is okay, and he pulls out a graph and shows us that after 2019 things will become normal again. The way this regime is working, or not working, shall we say, has led to a double tap killing of the Indian economy. Commandos in hostage situations fire what is called a double tap. Two quick, closely placed shots fired at the chest to ensure that their terrorist target is down, is dead. Modi ji and his government have fired a double tap at the heart of our economy. First Notebandi, bang, and then GST, bang, has crippled our economy. And it continues. The situation of joblessness in the country is extremely worrying. The government is creating a massive army of unemployed youth, which is toxic and dangerous. Instead of admitting they cannot and are not providing jobs, they are riling communities up against each other in a bloody rage. As we all know, GDP growth has been slowing. Private investment has collapsed. Agricultural growth is at its lowest ebb. Exports have been declining. In 2014, India's GDP was growing at 6.6%. But today, according to the new way of measuring GDP, India stands at 4.2%. Not only are insufficient numbers of jobs being created, real wages have been stagnant for 3 years. Indian citizens cannot meet their basic expenses, leave alone spend on consumption that is required to boost our economy. Bank lending is at the lowest level in 60 years. Investment at a 15-year low. Power generation at a decade low. And unemployment skyrockets. And as if this was not enough, recent research by respected economists has shown that inequality in India is now at its highest level in 100 years. We are staring at a disaster. I'm not talking of technology making jobs redundant, as is happening in the West. This is a pure man-made disaster, or in Modi ji's terminology, an MMD, a Modi-made disaster. Ladies and gentlemen, despite the current mess in the economy, what I want to say here today is that the Indian economy can be revived. Under the UPA regime, between 2004 and 2011, 140 million people came out of poverty. That is 20 million people every year. For the first time in our history, for the first time ever, if it is steered correctly and faithfully, India has the opportunity to wipe out poverty forever. If India is able to lift another 350 million people out of poverty by 2030, it would be an achievement that the entire human race can be proud of. Doing this would require us to grow by more than 8% in the next 13 years. And this is the challenge. India has done it before, and we can do it again. However, no amount of growth is enough for India if it is not accompanied by the creation of jobs. It does not matter how you grow, how fast you grow. If you are not creating jobs, you are not solving the problem. We are a nation of small, micro and medium businesses. Nearly 6 crore of these enterprises are engaged in business in our country. You're the backbone, but you get very little support. These businesses are India's traditional network. These networks have been with us for thousands of years. They represent our nation's innovative capabilities, our knowledge and our vast understanding. These networks are situated in thousands of clusters around the country. They are rich with knowledge and skill and make up the heart of our country's economic legacy. We need targeted cluster development programs at a massive scale across the country. It is this reservoir of skill and innovation that needs to be unlocked and freed from the oppressive and unpredictable bureaucratic red tape it faces every single day. Let us start by accepting a simple reality, that China outperforms us in the creation of jobs. China creates 50,000 jobs every single day. India is currently creating 450. Let me repeat that. China creates 50,000 jobs every single day. India is creating 450. And let me be very clear. The only force capable of meeting the Chinese challenge is the network of small, micro and medium businesses. Nobody else can do this job. And I have no doubt in my mind that you are the only force that has the skills, the knowledge and the understanding to take on the Chinese and to beat them at their own game. Today the national discussion is only about growth. India can no longer carry on without a clear focus and strategy on the creation of jobs. How are we going to create jobs? That is the central question in front of this country today. We need to link these small, micro and medium businesses to our banking system. We need to infuse them with credit and create a completely new deal for these businesses in finance. Today, they receive almost no bank credit, even though they account for 40% of India's economic output and half of our exports. More importantly, they account for 80% of all non-agricultural employment. Yet all SMEs combined get as much credit from banks as the 10 largest companies in India. Even though this money generates 30 times more employment, the truth is, even yesterday's bank recapitalization announcement, because it's only an announcement, targets only India's biggest businesses while throwing crumbs at MSMEs. Imagine how much employment we could create if we actually made capital available to you in the same way that we do for the biggest companies in this country. We urgently need to give these networks access to the political system, the same access that big business already enjoys. You too need to be heard in the corridors of power. You have been blasted by Modi ji's lethal double tap. My question is, why is the government treating their most powerful weapon in the fight against unemployment without dignity? Why does the government disrespect small and medium businesses and treat them like thieves? They must stop painting you as evil and must seek your cooperation in rebooting our economy. Startup India is welcome for the economy, but it cannot be accompanied by shut up India. What gives Startup India its strength is freedom of expression, thought and dissent. You choke this and you choke entrepreneurship. You are the source of this nation's creative and entrepreneurial energy. It is the imperative of those in government to listen to your voice, whoever they may be. I am here today to say we trust you. We believe in you. We understand the terror you feel at the unpredictable nature of this new computerized license Raj. Your struggles are the struggles of this nation. Your pride is our pride. Your growth and well-being is the growth and well-being of each one of us. And the Congress Party will always support you. It will always have the humility to listen to your voices, and it will stand shoulder to shoulder with you as you build the foundations of a resurgent India. Thank you.